Well, Jim, our next question sent to CornyDriveThru at gmail.com from Brian Muir. Hello, Mr. Cornette.
Hello, Mr. Muir.
I'm a huge fan of both the experience and the drive-thru. I will keep my question brief. How was Terry Funk casted in movies like Roadhouse and Over the Top? Did someone see him as a madman and say, he's perfect? Thank you very much, and I hope to all your fellow Kentuckians, it's an absolute... Okay, he worded it wrong. He meant the right thing. It says, thank you very much, and hope to all you fellow Kentuckians, it's an absolute nightmare. But I think he's referring to the tornado.
Maybe, every once in a while on the old keyboard I'd be typing shit, and I'd look up and I'd see that half of the things that I typed didn't come out. Maybe that was his problem. Terry got booked in movies, specifically the Stallone movies and things like that, after he got the SAG card, after he did the first bit in Paradise Alley, right?
I believe so. He became friendly with Sylvester Stallone. I mean, Stallone was even attended that show in Houston where they have all those photos of him with Bockwinkel and Harley Race, and he did commentary on the show.
Well, and the wrestling scenes, Paradise Alley, this was 1978 when the movie was released. The wrestling scenes were shot. I don't know where exactly they were shot, but they were shot with the crew that was in West Texas at the time, for the most part, because Tommy Gilbert taking one of his big backdrops. He was working the Amarillo territory as Johnny Starr at the time. And several of the other guys in some of the scenes were in the West Texas territory. But the Frankie the Thumper role was originally thought of for... Was it originally thought of for Funk, or was on the short list? I'm trying to remember. But they had the wrestling character in, and they did a lot of casting, and somehow Terry came to Stallone's knowledge, and he got in that movie, and that's when, as a result, he got a SAG card and ended up getting a variety of parts in TV and movies and different things for the next, 5 or 6, 7 years.
And he had a relationship with Stallone. That's why he appeared in Over the Top. That was a Stallone film. That's also why, if you ever see Rocky V, which has him and Tommy Morrison as Tommy Gunn, there's a big dramatic fight in the streets at the end. That was choreographed. I hate to use that word, but it's what it was. For the movie, that was choreographed, that fight by Terry Funk.
Yeah.
Stallone kept using him.
And Terry had mentioned before the respect that Stallone had for the guys in the wrestling business, because on the set of Paradise Alley, there were, obviously it's a movie production, there were stuntmen there also in addition to the wrestlers, but at some point on the set, the stuntmen were giving the side eye to the wrestlers and making some comments and scoffing or whatever, and Stallone went over and said, hey, basically, you motherfuckers, I don't have to use that language. These guys do what they do in one take with people on all four sides of them. So have a little respect and shut the fuck up, was the bottom line of the statement. And that got over with all the boys coming from Stallone. So, yeah, so that was how Terry got into the show business, as they say, and did a lot of the movies and TV parts and et cetera, commercials. And it didn't hurt that he was so over in Japan also. He did some commercials, endorsements, things over there. He had the record album. And Terry did a lot of shit in the 80s besides wrestling.
Well, Jim, one of the things Terry was known for was his appetite. And one of the things he did besides wrestling was go to the Ribera Steakhouse and go to the Big Texan Steakhouse and all the different places, the Longhorn, wherever he's going to get something to eat. But perhaps he wasn't satisfied, and perhaps he would be really, really proud of me right now, because I somehow held off on doing this spot until the very end, knowing how hungry I was going to be once we started talking about Omaha steaks.
Well, and besides that, I'm sure that if Terry was over there at the Ribera Steakhouse or wherever he was around the world, he was still thinking about how close that Amarillo and West Texas is to Omaha, and Omaha is the home of Omaha steaks, and therefore they use only the most contented cattle to make their products, folks. And as we all know, the cow must die broiled or fried, the cow must die. Right there, if you're in the cult of meat with extra cheese, you're not going to have to ask. You're going to go immediately to omahasteaks.com, folks. You have to supply the cheese, but they'll give you the meat. And right now at the holiday time, whether finding the perfect gift is tricky or finding the perfect meal is tricky, well, everybody salivates over steaks. Steaks and meat and sides and desserts and all that type of stuff. And right now, if you go to omahasteaks.com and enter the code JCE into the search bar, you can save over 50% on the perfect gift package. Here's what you get. 4 bacon-wrapped filet mignons, 4 boneless chicken breasts, 4 Omaha steak burgers, 4 gourmet jumbo franks, 4 individual scallop potatoes, 4 caramel apple tartlets, a jar of their signature seasoning, and for our friends only, 8 more free Omaha steak burgers. omahasteaks.com. The keyword is JCE. On the perfect gift package, you get all that, $99.99. Holy jumping shitballs. Because I'm telling you what, you don't have to go out. No holiday traffic, hustle and bustle, no crowded shopping experience. Just get you some meat and some sides and either send it to your house or somebody's house that you plan to go eat at and then enjoy things afterwards. Again, $99.99 for the perfect gift package. With all of that, my God, how many pounds of jumbo meat is all? I can't even do the math. Incredible flavor, incredible value, 100% guaranteed. omahasteaks.com. The keyword is JCE. 50% off, more than 50%. $99.99 for all of that cattle byproduct and various and sundry other items delivered to your salivating throat.
Is that what is salivating? Your throat?
Well, I guess it's your salivating tongue. Your tongue is what salivates. And then the food goes down the throat. The only thing Omaha Steaks won't do is come to your house, put this shit in your mouth, and rub your throat so you don't have to do the work of swallowing.
A fine product. We encourage everyone to check it out and eat it up, as I will be doing after we are done recording. But Jim, let's eat up a few
When
more
the
questions.
meat is done, the toppings fly. You won't have to ask me if I want some extra meat. Omaha Steaks.